Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP. Got kinda tired of packing and unpacking, town to town, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be, but baby, think of me just once in a while. I'm at WKRP in Cincinnati. This is a song about a ridiculous TV show that was an infamous sitcom flop. It's like in all the lists of bad sitcoms from the United States anyway. Everybody knows in a second life we all come back sooner or later. As anything from a pussycat to a man-eating alligator. Well, you all may think my story is more fiction than it's fact, but believe it or not, my mother dear decided she'd come back as a car. She's my very own guiding star, a 1928 Porter. That's my mother dear. She helps me through everything I do, and I'm so glad she's here. Everything my daddy never was, well, now she wants me to be. She's taken her place as the 5th member of my small family. She'll blow her radiator when things aren't going right, and whenever she gets too lonely, we just all gotta spend the night with my car. She's my very own guiding star, a 1928 Porter. That's my mother dear. She helps me through everything I do, and I'm so glad she's here. My mother the car, my mother the car. A show from the black and white days of the early 60s, starring Jerry Van Dyke, Dick Van Dyke's brother. And it's about this old car, which they called a Porter, which wasn't a real car. They just made it up. And the old car that they had was like a put together mishmash of various parts to create this unique kind of car. You know, I guess they didn't want to, they would be considered advertising if they used somebody's real car. I don't know. Anyway, it was this old car that he kept in his garage and refurbished. And his mother was reincarnated as this car, and he would go in there and it would talk to him, and he would get advice from his mother as the car. It also ran. They would take it out on drives, he and his family. He had a wife and 2 kids. I don't remember who played the wife or the 2 kids. And like I said at the beginning, it's an infamous bad sitcom. It didn't even last a full season, I don't think. I think it's all on YouTube. Anyway, I know I watched a lot of it somewhere. I don't know if I saw every episode, but I saw pretty much every episode. Jerry Van Dyke did go on to have a great showbiz career. He was a character actor in all kinds of things. One of his real major roles later on in his life was in the 90s sitcom called Coach, which starred Craig Nelson. He was the guy who played the father in Poltergeist. He played the head coach of a college football team, and Jerry Van Dyke played one of his assistant coaches. And so he was a regular on there, and that was a big role for him. And other than that, he was on lots of things. He showed up on the Dick Van Dyke Show a couple of times, playing Dick Van Dyke's brother. And, you know, he was everywhere. So he had a great showbiz career. Even even though his only starring role was My Mother the Car, where that's the only role he had as a lead character, and it was terrible. There you go. So you think that you've got troubles? Well, trouble's a bubble, so tell old Mr. Trouble to get lost. Why not hold your head up high and stop crying, start trying, and don't forget to keep your fingers crossed. When you find the joy of living is loving and giving, you'll be there when the winning dice are tossed. A smile is just a frown that's turned upside down, so smile and that frown will defrost. And don't forget to keep your fingers crossed. The Dick Van Dyke Show had an instrumental theme song, and it didn't have official lyrics, but Maury Amsterdam, who was one of the co-stars of the show, one of the main characters, wrote these unofficial lyrics, which are considered the lyrics, but it was never actually recorded like this, as far as I know. I heard Dick Van Dyke interviewed on a podcast where he sang this song, so that's how I knew it had lyrics.